want to introduce you to Rodeo, another central character who happens to be the primary dealer of the drug MayoMadd on Earth. Based in Denver, Colorado, he has a history with one of the other characters I introduced you to earlier, Detective Bobby Soames. Soames put away Rodeo's father, Big Rodeo, a major drug dealer who passed his highly profitable drug business onto his son before getting locked up. To learn more, you got to read the book. But this passage I'm about to read you now will give you a peek into who Rodeo is. Rodeo sat out front on his lawn in a faded green plastic chair, the bulk of him squeezed into a white basketball jersey trimmed in red and blue with the number 1 emblazoned across the front and the words one and only stitched across the back. It was a warm afternoon, and he could smell the mouth-watering scents of someone's barbecue reaching out to his flared brown nostril from a home nearby. He thought about asking one of his lieutenants to scout the neighborhood to find out where the smell was coming from so he could invite himself over and fix himself a plate. Or maybe he would have or maybe he would have it brought over. But then, nah, no need to take too much advantage of a good thing. It was like what Big Rodeo, his father, had always told him. When you get to where you feel like you might be pushing it, lay back. That's your common sense trying to warn you from doing something stupid. And now that he had finally made his way to the top of Gangsta Mountain, something he liked to call it, there really wasn't any need to push it. It was good to be king. Real good. Rodeo took a swig of beer from the bottle he held in his left hand. He hated beer in a cup. Then sucked a long, deep drag off a stubby joint he held pinched between 2 thick fingers on his right. Except for the smells of barbecue, there were a few signs of activity on the block, which wasn't that surprising since most of the surrounding homes were now torn down. Rodeo's headquarters was one of the 5 buildings left standing, and whenever Rodeo was outside, his few remaining neighbors rarely ventured beyond their front doors until he was back behind his. The smiles and small talk they offered whenever they stumbled into an involuntary encounter were always stiff and forced, which used to bother him because he wanted to be seen more as a neighborhood benefactor than a thug. Like the Godfather, you know. But whatever. As he sat outside on this particular day, a Tuesday, he began to wonder what was coming next. He was already in control of the most powerful drug on the streets, the sole supplier, and he had smoothed out his competition. It didn't mean he was safe because no gangster ever was. There was always somebody somewhere working up a plan, most likely some kid with grand designs, and sooner or later it would be the right plan. That was the life, and he accepted it. But for now, thanks to that local midget Haley and his amped-up nephew Ronnie, who had stepped up when he called for backup on that very important day, Rodeo was now stronger in the game than Big Rodeo would have ever imagined possible. Life was okay. Better than okay. It was better than it had ever been. And yet, there was just something. His closest lieutenants, Truckhead, Pitbull, and Rooster, all 3 of them carryovers from his father's crew, insisted that he should just lay back and enjoy the spoils of war. He had made his play with the help of Ray Haley and Ronnie, and he had come out on top. It was only natural, they said, that he might feel a twinge every now and then, and that was good. Never relax too much, they said, but don't overthink shit too much either. And they would know, right? So he should trust them. And he did. He did. But still. All right, guys, we got one more character to go. I'm going to read you, and then the next thing you know, we'll be at the launch on July 21st. So we hope to see you there. And one more character coming. His name is Mojo, and he's a dealer of a drug called Roscoe. So you'll learn more about him next time. And meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you next time.